Flood of 1972 with Johnny Albright. How old were you when the flood of 72 happened?
I was 8, almost 9.
How much damage was done during the flood of 72?
Most of the town of Lewisburg was underwater. Friends of mine came out of their house from their second story.
Really?
Yes. The house you now sit in, the entire basement was full, and there was an inch on the first floor.
The flood began on June 6, 1972.
How did Lewisburg change after the flood?
Moved a lot of the houses down that were.
Can
in
we
the
start
flood.
over?
No.
For example, behind the town tavern now, there's a parking lot that was all houses, but in 72 flood, it destroyed all of them. There were some houses across the street from the tavern that were destroyed. It just changed everything about the town, including building restrictions and flood zones. And
How did you react to the flood?
well, I was like almost 9 years old, so we thought it was incredible. And I remember we rode our bicycles through some of it.
The flood made the waters about 34 feet high at their crest, highest point. Wow!
Did your dad canoe in the flood?
No, he still had to see patients and stuff, even though some of them couldn't. A lot of them couldn't get to the office, and our whole block was basically underwater.
Wow. Sounds like a lot of destruction.
It was.
Well, thanks, Johnny.
No, we're not
Wait,
done.
I
We're
ha-
not done.
That's going to be the end.
No, we have a ton more questions.
No, I know that.
Go ahead, ask me some more. By the way, the flood was caused by Hurricane Agnes.
Did anyone that you know get hurt or die in the flood?
A friend of mine, his grandfather drowned. His name was Gordy Hoofnagel. He was the sheriff at the time, and he jumped in by what is now Zelda's to save someone, and he got swept under the bridge and drowned. Hence the name Hoofnagel Park.
Oh my god.
That's why.
It's Huffnagel.
Well, we say Huff.
You called him Huff?
Yeah. Huff.
I think you mean Huffy.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
His name was Huffy?
That's what we called him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Alright.
There was almost a baby born in our house.
Really?
Friends, yeah.
It has nothing to do with the flood.
It has everything to do
Nothing.
with the flood. On one of the days during
Stop hitting me.
like the first couple days of the flood, a local pediatrician, Dr. Hoyle, showed up at our house very early in the morning with a lady, and she was pregnant with twins. Thought they couldn't get her to the hospital, so they showed up at my dad's house office, and they were gonna deliver the twins in basically our house.
So
our
basically,
office.
there was like no access to anywhere.
Right.
So she had to have the baby.
Well, she was
in her.
gonna have them, and then some National Guardsmen from the fire department came over and took her and on the amphibious tractor up to the hospital.
What's that?
It's like some vehicle that can go in the water and out of the water.
They had those back then?
Yeah, back then it was 1972.
Oh. Yeah, I know.
It rained. It just constantly rained for days and days and days, and the water had nowhere to go. It rained for like 3 straight days, and I mean it rained. Market Street was in pretty good shape, but at the end of Market Street, towards 6th and 7th Street, that was all underwater. Where Zelda's is in Huffnagel Park, that was all flooded. And
It's Huffnagel.
okay, if you say so. South side of Lewisburg got hit pretty hard because they're low. There's a lot of lower areas in there. If anyone's familiar with the wall in Sunbury, the water was right to the top of it. So it was the virtual wall water. After the flood, when you drove down to Sunbury, there were always stuff written on the wall. You know, because the wall basically saved Sunbury.
What precautions did people take to keep safe during the flood?
Well, they
People have to stay inside.
basically, and then, I mean, the houses that were just underwater or whatever, those people had to get out. You know, they sandbagged as much as they could to just keep water from getting in, but in certain areas you just couldn't stop it. And then drinking water became a problem. You know, there were boil advisories and just generally getting food and stuff.
Did people know ahead of time to go to like the store and get food and stuff?
I don't really remember, but for a young kid like myself, it was hilarious. You know, there was all this water and it was hot, and you know, summertime. We were just out of school, so I mean, it wasn't hilarious. Like, we weren't laughing because it was just fun. And then this huge whale swam up the Susquehanna.
Okay, no.
And after that, it was horrible when the whale showed up. And everyone ran down to see the whale, which turned out to be just a bunch of 55-gallon drums that floated down the river. So there really wasn't a whale. Everyone went home.
Thank you for letting us interview about the flood of 72.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you, Johnny.
Okay.